I'm Isabella Jones, and I'm Group Leader 1, and our theory is person-centered approach. Welcome back, everyone. I'm really glad to see you all today. As we talked about last week, this is our final meeting together, and today we're going to focus on looking back at the goals each of you set and the progress you've made since our last session. In our group, we focus a lot on person-centered approach. This is a chance to recognize the work you've done, the strengths you've shown, and the ways you've supported one another throughout the group. Before we dive in, I want to acknowledge that ending a group can bring up a mix of emotions like pride, relief, sadness, and even uncertainty. All of that is completely normal. Our main goal today is to help us reflect on what you've accomplished and prepare you for what comes next. Last session, each of you identified 3 choices that you can make and you wanted to focus on during the week. So let's take a moment to revisit one choice and what you committed to last week. Whoever wants to go first can go.
A choice that I made last week in order to get closer to my perfect reality, was just it was kind of a choice, but I called my mom instead of my ex whenever I felt like reaching out. That was just obviously because I was feeling kind of down, and generally I would want to call him and feel better about it, but I knew that was not the right decision, so I chose to call my mom instead and chat with her. And so that was, yeah.
Wow, that was really good. I'm glad you're finding new support people to help you through what you're going through. Does anyone else want to share?
So last week, I said that I wanted to check in with my kids, and it was recommended that I do it right after session. And I did that, and it went really well. I think I actually grew closer with my kids too, and it really helped our relationship. And now they're um, seeking therapy, and it's not and they're like okay with it, and they don't see it as like, oh, like I'm a problem, and because I like talked to them about it like that, and I think that was really good. So
That's really good to hear. Thank you for sharing, Hannah. I remember last session I talked about removing items from my apartment that were my exes and just slowly doing that. I also talked about forming relationships that don't serve me anymore, or not forming, but like getting rid of those relationships. So this past week I was invited to a birthday party from a mutual friend of me and my abuser, and I knew he was gonna be there. So I made the decision not to go because I knew if he was there then I would just become uncomfortable and anxious and paranoid, as well as like I should be focusing on the relationships that prioritize me and not my abuser. Ooh, wow. That was a really good decision, and I'm glad you're prioritizing yourself. Thank you for sharing.
Last time, I basically said that I wanted to cut contact, and he was kind of still reaching out, so I last week decided that to only to get an app so me and him could connect through that with our kids, and not in text, because I feel like sometimes in text it can lead to other things, but this now it's straight there and blunt, so nothing's said.
That sounds like a really good technique. Thank you for sharing. Before we officially close, I also want to recognize that the way you've supported one another, the encouragement, the listening, the patience, all of that has helped create the safety and connection that we've built here. Even though the group is ending, the progress you've made does not end with it.
I'm Hannah Wallace, and I am leader 2. As we enter our final session for this group therapy, I want to acknowledge the growth that everyone has achieved during our time together. Um, I want to give room to everyone that wants to talk. What are you taking with you from this group experience?
I would say honestly, having the courage to share, because there are everybody around us has not been through the same thing, but kind of, sort of. So just thinking that you can trust people, but it just takes time and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, totally. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else want to share?
I resonate a lot with that, honestly, because a really hard thing was coming into this was how it hurt so badly. And like she said, it takes a while to trust people, but you can do it again. And I've really felt that with you guys, just the being open with each other and then also with myself, that like I can open up my heart and my emotions again.
Yeah, I'm glad that you feel that way towards this group, and I'm really glad that you acknowledge that. Anyone else?
I really feel the same way. Like, I feel like walking away from this, knowing that I'm like not the only person that has felt this way or have been through the things I am, really brings me like a lot of strength. And I really appreciate the connection we've built here.
Yeah, of course.
I would say ditto to all of that. I think that once you have that trust with that person and it gets ruined, it's really hard to gain that trust back from even people that you don't know. So I've really appreciated coming to this group each week and everyone being vulnerable and sharing their experiences.
Yeah, I'm very glad that everyone feels the same way about building the trust in this group. It is very important to have support around you, and I feel like this group has been a good support for everyone, which is good. So looking back, what stands out as the most important thing that you've gained from this group?
I think this is similar to my last answer, but honestly, like a community of people who get it.
Yeah,
That's the most important thing I've gained through this group, because I know that, like, deep down, I know that I'm going to be okay, but it's easier to actually feel that when there's others helping me. If that makes sense.
yeah,
I would say, oh, I'm sorry. I would say I would completely agree with Lily that I feel like I've gained that too, but also confidence. I feel like I've gained back not only within myself, but in those relationships that I'm building. So just like feeling more comfortable in my own skin and in my own body.
yeah. I'm so glad that you have gained the confidence. Anybody else want to share?
I feel like the exact same thing that Lily and Emily said. It just like took the words right out of my mouth. I was really grateful for this group.
Yeah. All right. So what skills and insights from this group do you want to carry on forward as we end this group therapy?
I would say like basically letting go, and what Emily said a couple like sessions ago is just like taking and moving items away. I feel like that's really a skill that I didn't have at first, but now seeing her do it kind of helped me like, just letting go of that stuff. And yeah.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Thank you.
I think I'm gonna take away like the grounding that I've learned, like not acting like in the moment and like taking a few days or like a few minutes or hours to like evaluate my emotions so I don't make irrational decisions.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I'm glad that you'll carry that on. Anybody else?
Just the biggest thing for me, we talked about last session, was the impact of our own choices. And I feel like that helped me realize a lot that healing and getting away from all of this is truly in my own power. And like I just have to do it. You know what I mean? So like I think that's going to be the power of my choices.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I feel like that was the most impactful session that we had probably. I feel agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that is a very good like thing to keep in your mind as like a reminder that this is your choice and whatever you choose is yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with Lily and everyone else in the group. I feel like a thing that I've gained is learning that my decisions are on my time and just like seeing people in different aspects of their lives. That's completely okay. If it doesn't meet with my timeline, that's okay too. People grow at different rates and it's just the way that life works. And I feel like I've gained knowing that it's okay. Like it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, of course, everyone has like their own timeline for healing and it's not linear. So I'm glad that you'll carry that on and I hope everyone continues to remind themselves of that. Thank you all for sharing. I'm glad that everyone has at least something to carry on after this group. I think it's important to uh remember all the skills and connections that we have made throughout this session.
Hi, my name's Emily Cash, and I am Group Leader 3. Hi, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Before we wrap up today, I just want to take a moment to focus on what's coming up for you here and now. Since it is our last group, I imagine there are a lot of different emotions present in the room right now. Some of you might be feeling proud. Some might be feeling sad, anxious, or a little even disconnected. And all of those reactions are completely valid. For some of you, this ending might bring up feelings of connected to past experiences, like relationships ending, support being taken away, or moments where things felt uncertain. If that's coming up for you right now, you are not alone in that. And it makes sense. I want to open up a space for anyone who feels comfortable sharing what they are experiencing in this moment. Whether that's a thought, a feeling, or even something you're noticing physically. I want to invite you guys to check in with yourself in this moment. What are you noticing right now? Sitting here as we talk about the group ending. If you guys would like to close your eyes and think about it, or just think for a couple seconds, feel free to do that. Okay. Would anyone like to share how they're feeling in this present moment?
I would say I'm kind of like feeling a little shaky knowing that each week or every other week I'm not gonna have this designated time to have this little hour to just share and update on everything that's going on. So yeah.
I feel like I'm kind of anxious about it ending because I know like this has been something I have been looking forward to every week. Because I know that like it's somewhere where I can be vulnerable and like talk about whatever with. Um, and I'm also just kind of feeling a little sad with like departing from the group because I mean we've all had good connections and so
Yeah.
yeah.
I completely understand. Thank you guys for sharing. I also want to take a moment to recognize that the work that each of you have done here, being present, being open, and supporting one another is not easy, and that speaks to your strength. I want to share that I feel like you guys have grown so much since we first started this group sessions. And that speaks to how strong you are as a person. And even if you think that you are not, you have the strength within, and you have all proven that since our first session. And I am very proud of each and every one of you. My hope today is that you leave here not just reflecting on the past, but also feeling supported in this moment and moving forward and knowing that your emotions and your feelings are valid, and so are you.
Okay, I'm Lily and I will be leader 4. So I just wanted to go ahead and, like we've already mentioned, acknowledge that this is our final session together, and that brings up a lot of different feelings: pride, sadness, uncertainty, or maybe even relief. I don't know. I don't think any of you guys hated this, but if you did, it's almost over. But anything that you're feeling right now is completely valid, and that there is space for all of that here. I also just wanted to take a moment and reflect on how each of us have grown from the first session. That has been a recurring theme this session, but instead of you guys sharing now, I would like to, if it's okay with everyone, I would like to point out a way in which I have seen each of you grow. Good. All right. I'm just going to start over here with Cameron. I feel like I've seen you in the beginning of this group. I felt like you didn't really want to be here and had a little bit of a hard time getting yourself situated with everyone. And I want to just say that I've I've greatly appreciated the ways in which you have embraced this group and given us your authentic self, and I think it's helped us grow as well as yourself. Isabella, since we just recently learned, and you as well, of your pregnancy, I want to say that you handled that with a lot of grace. And I know that these months coming up will be incredibly difficult for you, but I've watched you develop strengths in this group that I know will help you be able to get through that.
Thank you.
Yeah, cops. Hannah, a way in which I have seen you grow in this group is that you've been able to keep a very uplifting and positive attitude. I think that that's not only helped you to be more open with the group, but I also feel like you've been able to help others be open, and that's just as much of a skill as being open yourself. You are a very inviting presence.
Thank you.
And then last but not least, Emily, I just wanted to say that I have really seen you grow in your ability to be assertive. And I felt like whenever you first started this group, you were having a hard time like getting your word across to people, specifically your ex, and like truly knocking him out of your life. And I feel like you've, through this group, been able to become more assertive and not demanding, but like taking charge of your own life. And that's a great thing that you have developed and will be able to carry with you after this group is over.
Thank you.
Of course. Yes, and I want you guys all to reflect on what I've said, but then also just think about yourself for a moment, ways in which you've seen yourself grow. And I want you to feel a bit of pride for a moment because I am extremely proud of you and you all should be extremely proud of yourselves. As we are coming to an end, I want to acknowledge that endings can be scary and that those emotions may rise up in you, but that's okay. We just need to take a step back from them, look at all of the strengths that you have built and the strengths that you came in with as well, because none of you were weak upon arriving here. You just built your strengths to be able to take them out of this group. If you're considering staying in touch with each other, I highly encourage that as well. But I would like you to come up with healthy boundaries and stuff like that within this group or within this group, outside of this group, as well as just in our lives.
My name is Cameron, and I'm doing Roleplay Leader 5. I know today is our last session after 4 weeks. I want to let you guys know that I can't give out my personal phone number, but I know we have built relationships over time. So it's up to you guys if you guys would like to meet outside of this meeting. It's up to you. You can share your numbers, whatever you feel comfortable with. I also do offer individual therapy. It's not group, it will be one-on-one. I do Zoom or you can come in the office, whatever works for you. It's just regular business hours, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and just let me know if you need it. Also, I want to recommend some resources, just in case after this you choose not to follow up with each other or even through Zoom or in person. There is a domestic violence hotline. There's a number. And there is also, you can call anytime. It's open 24/7. Or there's also like a text message you can automatically send whatever you want in there. I would also say, number one, there is the police if you do not feel comfortable and you need help immediately. There's also community mental health centers around town. You can also do that. And there is the NES, which offers resources for domestic violence survivors. And if you guys would like any of that, you can. I have a business card after this meeting is over. If you want to meet all together, just come up, or you can do individually if you feel comfortable with that. But I just want to say thank you guys for showing up for the last 4 weeks. You guys have shown major improvement, and I hope that the stuff that you learned, you take it out of this meeting.
Thank you.